Good morning. Welcome to the Group Corner with Cornerstone. This morning we have guests from Medical Mutual who will be sharing some information with us. But first we're going to do just a couple of housekeeping items as you normally expect on these webinars. If you have any questions, we'd like you to please type that in the question box, and then we'll get to all of those questions at the end of the presentation. Should we run out of time, we will definitely get the Q&A out to everyone, as well as a copy of the presentation. I am Shelley Brownell, and I'm the Senior Director of Employee Benefits in Cincinnati. You can see my contact information there as well. So should you have any questions, you can certainly direct those to your broker advisors following the presentation, or the director in your geographic area, or you're always welcome to give me a call as well. Just a couple of programs to highlight that we have here at Cornerstone. Many of you are familiar and maybe taking advantage of the autopilot. The autopilot is a program we've designed so that you really never have to say no to your clients. And you may choose to use this in a variety of different ways. We have brokers that refer individual and Medicare because they don't want to be certified. And we have a whole host and unit of folks that are licensed and well-versed in all of those products and sell those on your behalf. In addition, perhaps you are giving thought to your exit to the group market or the individual market, and you want to partner with someone that you've been partnered with your entire career, us here at Cornerstone. And so we have a whole program designed to receive the baton from you and take good care of your group clients, individual clients, Medicare clients, et cetera. So if you have not ever heard about our autopilot program, we encourage you to give your broker advisor a call, or certainly you're welcome to give me a call and we can go over all the features and benefits that we have designed in that program specifically for you. And lastly, but certainly not least, as you may be aware of, annually, we have been doing this for the last few years, I guess, but we have a program that is a cash incentive program, and it rewards those brokers who are bringing new business to Cornerstone. It runs on a calendar year basis, so January 1 through December 31 of 2021. We've rewarded a lot of different brokers in this program, and you may just be getting started in the group business, doing a lot of prospecting. You can see here the different cash amounts. The top qualifier will receive $7,000. We used to do a trip, but that got increasingly more difficult as COVID entered our world. And so we've moved to the cash incentive program. You need to register for that on the website that you see listed there. And so if you haven't done that, we encourage you to do that immediately. That is the only way in which we can track your new business with Cornerstone and put you into the ranking for the possible or the potential to win. So as I mentioned, this morning we have Medical Mutual with us, and we have a variety of different guests. They are going to be giving us an update, but specifically a lot of information surrounding the COSE MIWA product. If you are not a registered producer or you've not been certified with us and have interest in selling that product, you do need to get in touch with your broker advisor and or your director. This morning we have Dan Polk, who is the VP and head of the small group in the state of Ohio. We have Sara Janszen. She is the Cincinnati sales executive. We have Josh Schneider, who is one of their technical experts with the product that we're going to be discussing this morning, and then Jeannie Fueling, who is their ancillary specialist. So with that, Dan, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Shelley. Good morning, everybody. Obviously in virtual world, hopefully you can hear me okay. As you can, I was kicked out of my home office. So as you can see behind me, I'll just move. I'm in my daughter's bedroom right now, who is obviously a big Broadway fan. So I have all these little virtual, this is not my bedroom. So believe, I like Broadway. I'm a big Broadway guy, but still, just so everybody understands, this is where, this is where, virtual is a reality. So thank you for joining us this morning. And Shelley, thank you for the kind words and for the for the introduction. I'm not going to say that much because really we have experts from Medical Mutual here to talk about some, some of the changes and some of the exciting changes that we have coming up for the through the COSE MIWA product, in particularly our share product, which you may have seen some communication of over the last several months. And Josh Schneider is going to be going through a lot of those changes, plus some other changes to some enhanced benefits that we've had within the products that are all became effective May 1st, both for new business and for renewals that have come out. And then we also have Jeannie Fueling, who is going to be going a little bit more in depth in our specialty products that are available as well through Medical Mutual, which is something we are really trying to focus on more as we go into 2020 through 2021 and in the future. So one of the things that I do want to point out, I don't know what the next slide is when it hits the next one. Who's there we go. Oh, that's me. I'm going through the welcome. You could go to the next slide as well, please. Yeah, just wanted to point out real quick. This is I get the exciting news here as far as the commissions go. You probably have seen within some past communications over the last month that we are actually enhancing as we're talking about the COSE MIWA. We're actually enhancing the commission payment for new business written within the MIWA that is written within the second quarter. So it would be effective 4/1/2021 through basically 6/1/2021 effective dates. And we're actually bumping the commissions up. This isn't a bonus; it's a writing agent commission. So we actually made an adjustment to Schedule A for the groups with 1 to 9 enrolled, from $25 to $35 per contract per month. And then for the 10 to 50, we bumped it up to $60 per contract per month. So we're excited to bring this to you again for the second quarter. We'll be talking about maybe extending this somewhere along the way, maybe through the course of 2021. But we're very excited to bring that to you as well. So and again, I'm going to pass it off to Josh, but thank you for taking the time this morning, and thank you for your continued support. And hopefully we could do this live again. I mean, we are live, but I'm looking forward to getting out to everybody's offices and seeing everybody as well. So, Josh, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Josh Schneider. I'm responsible for our share products, and been working pretty closely on the plan changes that Dan mentioned for 5/1. If we want to move to the next slide, I can kind of start taking us through it. So this first piece I'm just going to touch on. I'm going to touch on two pieces, both the core plan adjustment with the co-insurance out of pocket maximum, and the maximum out of pocket, the COOP and the MOOP. I'm going to hit on those, a couple plan design changes or adds that we had, and I'll kind of dive a little bit deeper into share and explain what that product is and how it functions and what's so unique about it. But this one first, we looked at, for 5/1, we had 6 core plans. You guys can see the plan here. And we started looking at the co-insurance out of pocket and how that relates to the MOOP, the maximum out of pocket. We found that there was some inconsistencies that both from our product line as well as kind of just needing to align with the marketplace. So to give you kind of a real example, if you look at the first 30/20/250 in the plan, a member would pay $250 for their member deductible, and then they would have a co-insurance out of pocket of $2,500. So there, that would be capped at $2,500. So basically $2,750 would be kind of their maximum pocket, but the MOOP was still running up to $6,600. So that really left a fairly large kind of dollar amount. I think it's roughly a little bit over $3,800, $3,850. That was only subjected to co-pays. So we really, there was really no way, unless someone was going to the doctor consistently almost every week, to hit that maximum. So again, we looked at the marketplace. We said, okay, what makes sense? What is a better flow in the product. So we came up with a $5,000 co-insurance out of pocket that we applied to all of these 6 plans. And you can see now that if you look at the flow and that 30/20/250, the first one again, member would spend $250. Their co-insurance maximum would be $5,000, and the MOOP now is $5,250. So this carries the out-of-pocket. The co-insurance goes all the way up to the MOOP. And on 4 of these 6 plans, it actually ended up reducing the MOOP. So we think that is advantageous. And then there's 2 plans that on the 2,000 and 3,000 that the MOOP actually increased just slightly. We want to hit the next slide. So these are just 3 new plans that we added to the portfolio. When we're looking at it, we have a very comprehensive, robust portfolio of products. What we wanted to add, to add a little bit more expansion and balance, was to offer 2 PPOs with a higher deductible. So we have 30/20/6,000. Again, higher deductible. We also did a 38,000. So with no co-insurance. So you guys can see that both the office visit coverage, the drug, and then the MOOPs. And we also, I think this one's going to be really good, is we added an HSA 4000 with co-insurance. So there hadn't been a co-insurance HSA in the portfolio. So we listened, we heard from the marketplace that there was a demand for this. So we think this is a good product. We think it's priced. We think all 3 of these are priced, nicely. And again, the objective was to expand, on the higher deductible side of it to provide more options. All right, if you want to go to the next slide. So this is Share. I'll slow down a little bit here and give a little more context surrounding what Share is. So Share it's unique to the marketplace. It's not offered broadly by other carriers in the marketplace. This is it's unique to Medical Mutual. It's a fully insured product. So, and how I like to describe or define the product is that it's taking a fully insured product and adding a funding arrangement on it. So, there's always groups that are saying, I run really well, how do I get a better rate? This is a product that allows you to explore taking on a very controlled, defined self-insurance, or I guess is a way of saying it. So, to give kind of a visual of this product, fully insured product, there's no, there is no awareness to, Medical Mutual customer service, to any sort of, from a claims basis, from the doctors to providers to the employees. They don't see that there's a funding arrangement tied to the product. But the way it works is member will hit their deductible. Then once that deductible is hit, traditionally in a fully insured product, if you enter into co-insurance, the member would spend, be responsible for their, say, 20%, and then Medical Mutual, or the carrier, would be responsible for the 80%. What we hear is we're transitioning that 80%, the Medical Mutual liability, and we're billing that back to the employer. And as a result of billing that back to the employer, that's a reduction of risk or exposure for Medical Mutual, which in turn is a reduction in rates and pricing, because the employer is taking on, more responsibility or risk associated with that group or with their group. We do offer this in 3 market segments. So COSE MIWA, 10 to 50 enrolled. This is the new, this is newly expanded for one, we are determining or defining which products it's associated with, and those are available in all of the quote outputs that we have. But there's only going to be one quarter. We wanted to really kind of minimize the exposure. And unlike, as you guys can see in the 51 to 99 or 100 plus, where corridors, those risk, what financial or funding arrangement tied to the fully insured, what exposure could in aggregate be for the employer. So 2,500, 5,000 for COSE MIWA. There has to be 10 to 50 enrolled. It cannot be under 10. And then you guys can see both 51.99 and 100 plus. Corridors, again, a corridor is the funding arrangement. It runs on a renewal period. So what I mean by that is if you have a July renewal, but a benefit reset in January, the corridor funding arrangement, the financial liability associated with this product to the employer would reset on the renewal period. Dual options, we're not offering or making available where an employer can say, I want both the share product and a PPO. They're going to provide dual options. They both need to be share products. They can be different plans, but the share needs to be applying to both of those options. Share does not look at in-network or out-of-network. Anything that is covered in the plan is subject, and when it enters into the MMO liability portion of the corridor, that will be applicable. And again, we already touched on that. This is hidden to members, customer care providers. And the way that this is billed, there's a fully insured premium that the employer would receive and pay for the product. And then as claims adjudicate through the system and are paid, and we identify what the liabilities are, those are billed separate to the employer. And you can see that for the COSE MIWA and 51.99, that's done on a monthly basis. And then on anything 100 plus, the volume is, as we've seen, is higher, so that's on a weekly basis. We want to skip to the next slide. So this is just an example. This is in our collateral. We have marketing collateral for both the COSE MIWA share products as well as plus. But our objective is really to show that identifying the right group is important. So what we've attempted to do is say, first look at a non-share plan, right? What is the cost associated with the non-share plan? And then compare that to an MMO share plan and see and quantify what the costs are in cost. How much of a savings is it? And then you could apply, in this example, this is a COSE MIWA share corridor of 2,500, 5,000. And you can look at, okay, well, what is the maximum amount of exposure that I would have within my singles and family makeup of the employer group? And you can see through the example here, this is for 60, for 60 enrolled. You can see as an example, what's the maximum corridor exposure, and then this is where it gets into understanding a little bit the history of the group. What are some of the drivers of the history of the group and experience, and then applying some estimates into the utilization. And that utilization, you can begin to identify, okay, how much would I expect or estimate that the employer would be responsible for, and how does that compare against my savings by from a step two. And if you want to skip to the next slide, I think this is really, again, kind of in summary of all of the last couple of slides that I've talked through, I wanted to give kind of 2 examples of how a claim processes. So this is a claim for $5,000 with a single, a deductible being $1,000 with 20% co-insurance. So if you look at a claim, so $5,000, a member would be responsible for $1,000 of that claim. So that's directly, 5,000 reduces to 4,000 from the remaining portion of the claim. So now there's a 20% co-insurance. So 20% of 4,000 would be $800. So you can see that under employee pays and co-insurance. And then you can say, okay, 4,000, the balance of that co-insurance, the MMO liability portion of it, traditionally under a fully insured product, would be the 3,200. So 3,200 is the MMO liability side of it. Under a share product with a $2,500 share corridor for a single, $2,500 of that 3,200 would be billed back to the employer. Now that leaves $700 that would then medical mutual, that corridor has been maximized, and now there's $7 remaining that will go into revert back to a fully insured product where the employer, or MMO would pay the $700, and for that employee, remember, there would no longer be any more exposure through the corridor because it's already been maximized with this one claim. So this is an example of just one claim maximizing the share corridor. If we want to go to the next slide, just one more example. This is just showing how it would function in that same sort of scenario, deductibles, share corridor amount with a co-insurance with a smaller claim. So again, $1,000 is always going to be the member's responsibility for this under this scenario. And then you have $400 that would, again, traditionally go to the MMO liability portion of it, of the fully insured product. But with the corridor here and co-insurance, member would pay $80 out of the co-insurance side of it. So $1,080 they'd pay. And then $320 would be the balance of that 400 under the co-insurance. That would be billed back to the employer through the share corridor and reduce the 2,500 kind of max exposure down now to 2,180. And in this scenario, because the corridor is not maxed, the medical mutual would not pick up any of the portion of the claim because again, it's under the maximum or within the maximum threshold of the share corridor. So there's the kind of the overviews. I know there's probably questions about how share functions and maybe some specifics, but I'll pass it to Jeannie, and if there's anything that pops up, I'll stay on and happy to answer.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great day. Jeannie Fueling, Director of Specialty Products here at Medical Mutual, and I'm happy to be here today to talk to you about giving an overview of all of our specialty products that we offer. We can move on to the first slide. Thank you. So this is this here lists every one of our products that we can offer and that I'm going to talk to today during this presentation. So we offer dental, vision, we offer some voluntary products, accident, critical illness, and hospital indemnity. We offer life and disability, short and long term. And for those of you who work in the 50+ market, we do have an in-house. We offer in-house administration for FML, so family medical leave have. We do that in-house, so if we are administering the SDE, it's the exact same claims team that is doing the administration on the FML. So I just wanted to offer that up there. All right, let's jump into the details. So moving into dental. So I'm going to give kind of a Cliff Notes version here, just a brief overview of each of the products we offer. For those of you who sat on, I think it was either the second or third quarter Cornerstone presentation last year, we gave a very, very detailed training on all of our products, went into a lot of depth and detail. This is going to be more just an overview, just to remind you that we have these products, and that it is a great opportunity to allow you for your clients to package in these products, to bundle them in, talk to Sara or talk to Jen Anglin for those of you in the Northwest Territory, talk to your MMO sales rep about bringing these products in and including them with your medical. So the first slide on the dental, if we want to jump there. So Medical Mutual, as Dan had mentioned at the beginning, we have put a very big focus on our ancillary products. It's a focus, and it's going to remain a focus. It's one of the reasons I'm here today. I came from an ancillary background. I spent the last several years of my life with a national carrier, and I joined Medical Mutual almost 3 years ago to help grow the specialty products here at Medical Mutual. And then one of the other things that we did in relation to the dental was Medical Mutual purchased Superior Dental about 3 years ago, about the same time. And for those of you in the southwest corner of Ohio, I'm sure you're very familiar with Superior Dental. They're a phenomenal regional dental carrier. So what that has brought to Medical Mutual is a lot of expertise in contracts, expertise in claim payment, expertise in marketing. So a lot of expertise has been brought in. So we're utilizing that to enhance our Medical Mutual dental product. I mean, Medical Mutual has paid dental claims for about 30 years, but in the past few years, we made quite a few enhancements, which hopefully you are seeing as you work with our products. And then probably one of the biggest changes that it made was our network. So our network has grown substantially throughout the state because we added the Superior Dental Network to the Dentamax network, which was previously what we used. So we still have the same dentists with the Dentamax network, but we piled on all the Superior Dental dentists. So we now have 70,000 providers nationwide. We're still a national carrier. So if you do have a group that has employees outside of Ohio, they would be covered under the Dentamax plan. But for those in Ohio, it's our new Super Dental Network. And we have 4,000 dentists across the state of Ohio. So a pretty extensive network. I would encourage you to talk to your MML rep about how we stack up to other carriers, up to Guardian, up to Met, because we look really good. We look really good when you compare our network access points to the other carriers. Out-of-pocket savings, you can assure your members that you'll be getting very typical savings, 20% in rural areas, 45% in urban areas. So discounts are what I would say on par with the market. Next slide, please. Here is a snapshot of the plans that you can purchase through the Medical Mutual option. So we try to keep it simple with 3 primary plans, but with varying options. So we've got 3 plans, with PPO 1, of course, being the richest. You can play with the co-insurance a little bit. You can play with the calendar year maximum. You can get either $1,000 or $1,500, and then voluntary or employer sponsored, and then ortho or no ortho. And then we do offer 2 out-of-network reimbursements on these plans, either an 80th percentile or a value plan, otherwise known as a MAC plan. So those are the 2 options that we can offer on our out-of-network reimbursements with our standard plans. Next slide, please. Okay, we can't seem to get through any presentation these days without mentioning the COVID word, often several times, but just to give you a little bit of an update with some of these products on how that has impacted us. And I don't think anything on this page is too earth-shattering, but as of when we talked about this a few months ago, it was more around 85 to 89% of the dental offices were closed. Now, as of March 2021, almost all dental offices are back open and functioning at full capacity. Nearly 80% of dental professionals have received the COVID-19 vaccine. That is something that is tracked. So of course that's making, patients feel more comfortable, doctors feel more comfortable, the staff feel more comfortable. And then hopefully the 10% of patients that are still not willing to go back will soon be willing to go back, because it's very important to get your preventive care on your dentistry. All right, that's it for dental. We can move on into vision. So at Medical Mutual, if you want to move to the next slide, Shelley. At Medical Mutual, we work with the two primary vision vendors. So we outsource our vision. We work with iMed and we work with VSP. And they have, as you can see in the chart to the right, they have the most share out there. So VSP has about 39% of the market share. iMed has about 28%. Couple things we are seeing in vision. Consumers are really looking more at what they get for their dollar. And what that means, consumers are willing to pay more for better value. So they're looking a little bit more into, well, that may be only a $3 rate, but what do I get for that? If I pay $3.50, I get more towards my glasses, more towards my contacts. So I think consumers seem to be a little bit smarter and paying a little bit more attention to how much they get, more bang they can get for their buck. Online purchases are growing significantly. There are now carriers out there that strictly offer online vision care. So you literally go online, you put your picture in, and you can try glasses on that way. And a lot of people are comfortable with that, perfectly comfortable with it. Some aren't, but that is growing more and more. And both of our vendors offer some options like that for those that are comfortable doing that. Employers want simplified administration and bundling of products. Again, goes back to what I said initially, like vision, I think is definitely a product that is nice to add in. It's nice to add into your medical, add into your dental, so that you can, you have your groups have one bill. They have one area of service. So vision is definitely an area to consider bundling in, and that's why we feel it's important. We offer two vendors depending upon your preference that you can work with. Trends in vision as far as utilization. So 98% for iMed, 89% for VSP of all claims are in-network. So when you're looking at a vision plan, you really want to focus on the in-network benefits. Very, very, very few members go out of network on vision. And if you look at the other stats here for these two carriers, kind of tells the story. So VSP has historically, their network has always had more of the independent providers, right? Not as many of the box stores. They focused on more the mom pops, the independents. And so therefore, that's why 98% of the members at VSP have visited an independent provider, as opposed to with iMed, 53% have visited an independent provider. And just strictly, again, how the networks have set up. And that's why the offerings are nice, because they're different types of networks. If you want to move to the next slide, I'll show you exactly. Yep, there we go. So here's a few of the providers or a few of the chains that are in iMed. They've got LensCrafters, Provision, Target, SVS Vision, and there are their online resources that I mentioned. And then VSP has Costco, VisionWorks, Provision. Walmart was recently added last year, so Walmart is now part of it. And then the exact plans per channel are at the bottom. So we offer the iMed plans through our health pool, and we offer VSP plans through COSE. So that's how you access those two plans. All right. We'll move on into, I think, life. Yeah, there we go. Okay, next slide, please. So quick overview. We do offer plan designs for all groups of all sizes. One thing to note about our turnaround, something that I have noted since day one, since I've been here, we pay claims so very, very quickly. Quick claims turnaround, 98% of all claims, of all of our life claims are processed within 3 business days. Industry standard is 5 to 10, so definitely beating industry standards. We are quick. We have what I call a boutique claim shop here. I mean, it's a small group of tenured employees. They've all been here 15 to 20 years, and they just do a fabulous, fabulous job with the claims here. Want to remind you about our 10 to 99 in-force strategy, and what that means is for those groups you have in that category, we will automatically deduct 10% off of the current basic life rate. There are a few restrictions as far as industry for that, such as long-haul trucking, few city services, aviation. So there's a few restrictions, but definitely, again, talk to Sara or Jen about that if you've got a group in that size that we can quickly just deduct 10% and move on with it and write that business. And again, at the bottom are design offerings. We've got our COSE offerings, package plans for the life. We've got a participation-free product, which is for those groups that maybe don't have any voluntary life right now and they'd like to offer it. And they have to answer a few medical questions, but then it is actually participation-free. So there's no minimum participation on those plans. That's what that means. And then we have our non-channel products, which again, talk to your rep about. Okay, I think I have a couple COVID updates if you move to the next slide. Oh, no, first, oh no, this is big news. I want to talk about this definitely. So as of 1/1, all of our COSE customers with life insurance through Medical Mutual now have COSE. So that includes those that we, current clients that we already had, that was automatically added, and any new clients that you write through COSE Life Insurance. It will include a telephonic EAP through our partner Health Advocates. And we just felt, we talked about doing this last year. We talked about doing this for a couple years actually. And then last year, with everything going on with COVID and the mental health crisis that we're definitely seeing in this country right now, we just felt that this was a critical thing to do for our customers. So we, for our COSE customers, long-term valuable partnership that we've had with COSE, we added that in there, and so they can benefit from utilizing those services. So important to note, so any new business that you write, that will include, and any current COSE client that you have with us with life insurance will have the telephonic EAP services. And there's the brochures that you can utilize. Good. Okay, so again, COVID-19 impact, couple just stats. We received overall for our entire book of business 150 STD claims in 2020 at last count. It wasn't a huge uptick because some of those were offset by, of course, layoffs, furloughs. Of course, there were no elective surgeries last year, right? So a lot of those, so it was kind of a balance. And no surprise, average number of days on COVID-19 claim was 14 days. And we received 37 life claims on our book of business that were related to COVID. One thing that kept coming up continually last year was, does quarantine meet the definition of disability? And of course, no, it did not. So those claims that came in that were actually on claim were not due to quarantine. They actually had to have symptoms and were actually disabled. Okay. I think we'll move on to talk a little bit about our MedMutual Extend product, which includes our hospital indemnity, critical illness, and accident coverages. And so on the next slide, we get into a little bit more detail about these products. So one thing to think about as you're talking to your customers. So why offer voluntary products? These products can be used, I mean, they're 100% voluntary. They are not, they don't impact the company's budget, but what they do is for those members who want to have a little bit of comfort, right? Who want to feel like, especially if they're in a high deductible type plan and, they're worried that if something should happen, they're not even going to be able to meet that deductible. These products can offer some sleep at night. That's what they do. They pay out a lump sum cash benefit for critical illness if they develop any type of chronic condition such as cancer, heart attack. These products allow a lump sum payment to be paid out, and then those lump sums can be used for whatever those members need to use them for. So we started offering these products about 3 or 4 years ago, and these products were specifically developed for the small market, because I do think voluntary products are something that was a little small group was a little underserved with these types of products. A lot of carriers offer, almost all ancillary carriers offer some type of voluntary products, but a lot of times they wouldn't offer them in the 1 to 50 space. So this product was created specifically for that area, for those clients. And if you jump to the next page, we'll get into a little bit more detail on how our products work. So we have 6 plan options available. And 3 of them are package plans, which include hospital, critical illness, and accident. So for one set of premium, you get all 3. You get all 3. It's a nice package. You can also buy them separately. So you can buy the critical illness and accident, or you can buy the critical illness and accident separate. So you can kind of look at them. On the next page, I'll get into the slides. But so these are available for 1 to 50 employees, 2-person minimum participation. It is a 100% voluntary product. and it is guaranteed issue, so no medical questions. You're automatically, if you sign up, you're automatically on these plans. There is a pre-existing condition limitation that will apply. There's a broker commission included at a flat 15%, and we have quite a few marketing materials that are available that we can send out if you have more interest in these plans. And then if you go to the next page, we'll talk about how we reduce the rates as of 1/1/21. So we took a look at our book of business, and we felt that a reduction was in order based upon the claims experience. So we reduced the rates for these plans. So if you've looked at these rates in the past few months, they're lower than they were. These rates will be in place for a few years now, and for who knows for how long. But these are the new rates for the premium, the preferred, the select, and then the individual critical illness and accident plans. Those are the rates. Okay, I think that was a very quick overview of our specialty products. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast, but hopefully it gave you a little taste of what we have here if you weren't aware of what we offer in specialty products at Medical Mutual. Happy to answer any questions or through the chat room or stay online. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jeannie. I don't see any questions so far in the chat room. If you do have any questions, you can put those in there or direct them, as we mentioned before. The Share product, I would mention, has been around a very, very long time with Medical Mutual in the 50+ segment, and it works very, very well. As far as today's presentation, we wanted to go over that conceptually with its introduction in the COSE MIWA, and to give you the product specifics and some of the mechanics. Obviously, there would be a few additional pieces necessary for completion at the time of new business. But if you're looking to get a quote for this, and you can specifically request that in the notes section when you send forms through FormFire with that pre-screen, and or we are modifying our quote profile at Cornerstone, which many of you are familiar with, and that quote profile will include for the COSE MIWA some of their share options now. So just pay special attention to the quote that you are looking at, because as Dan mentioned, there are price decrements obviously for that risk that the employer is taking on in that kind of hidden corridor space. So if you want to receive something specifically, we'll send out the product grid following the presentation again, and you're welcome to request those when you are sending in your pre-screen requests. We want to thank really all of our MMO partners this morning that spoke, Jeannie and Josh, Dan kicking it off, but we get a lot of great support around the state from our various sales executives, Jen Anglin in the Northwest, we have Sara Pryor in the central part of the state, Laura Sturgeon in the Northwest, and then Sarah Janszen, as I mentioned, down here in the Southwest part of Ohio. We appreciate your time this morning and your tuning in. If you do have any questions, please direct those to your broker advisors or directors. And we hope that the weather warms up here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks.